everyone. Of course, Jeff and Roseanne, Holiday, Larry, Kirkman, and Lenny, our partners at SPA, Jim Candy and Nick Weeks, who hopefully will be here. My PC colleagues, especially Maria Ivinson. The rest of the SOC faculty and staff, especially the staff I've written a little bit hard over the last few years, and I appreciate all the good cheer and the work that they've done. And of course to my wonderful husband and stepson, Morgan and Robert Downey, who have been my partners in this journey and everything. So after a weekend of speeches dealing with fear and Sandy Hook and gravitas, I decided I needed some expert advice on farewell remarks. So I went to George Washington. But his farewell address was about institutions and continuity, and kind of a little bit grandiose, I think, for this. President Eisenhower, he did a good one, actually. Talked about the military-industrial complex. And then I found one, of course, Bill Clinton. What did he do? He talked about all the wonderful things he did. And so, why not? But, seriously, when I walked into AU 8 years ago and met with Larry and Lenny and Maria, we talked about Lenny's book on baby boomers, Larry's favorite, Stephen Colbert, where I can spot them. And then, thank goodness, Maria told me actually about the job. But I had no idea it would be this much fun. Things really took off in 2008 when Lynn Perry and Bill Gentile, Richard Benedetto and I went to New Hampshire and were able to introduce the students to virtually every major reporter and political operative, breakfasted with David Brooks and Maureen Dowd and New York Times opinion editor Andy Rosenthal, who were sharing our Best Western. Actually, Maureen Dowd moved out, but not good enough. But the rest of us all ate breakfast at the Best Western. And then we went to the debates and saw Hillary Clinton just a few hours after she shed that tear the day before the primary. When we got back to campus, Barack Obama came to AU to be endorsed by Ted and Carolyn Kennedy, and our students who had become very good shooters and reporters in New Hampshire and had a number of campaign rallies under their belt, covered that one too. But 2010, as we've talked about, was really the big year. With our colleagues at SPA, Dean Leogrand, Jim and Candy, Larry Kirkman, Lenny and I put together the joint MA in political communication, and thanks to Roseanne's support and Meg's Weeks patiently reworking the proposal over and over. It was accepted by the provost and the board of trustees, of course on the condition that we spend no money. Since then, however, another number, 93 students have come into the program, 70 have graduated, another 23 are in the pipeline. The class coming in this fall will put it over 100 student mark for a 36 credit degree. So tonight for me is a celebration of that program, of the students and the many, many political and communication professionals, including my friend and wonderful colleague, Mandy Grunwald, who's here tonight, who've generously given of their time, and the people at AU made this happen. 2012, the celebration of President Kennedy's non-proliferation speech was particularly meaningful to me. I thank Terry Flannery and President Kerwin for putting me on the planning committee. It was that speech which put AU on the map for me as a young teenager in Brooklyn, New York, and commemorating it with everyone, from Sergei Khrushchev to Tom Brokaw to Dr. Strangelove, made things really come full circle. There were a few low moments, but even they had an upside. Seeing this faculty come together to support our colleague Maria Ivinson, who has been done a terrible injustice, was very, very rewarding. And following my friend and leader of 20 years, Dan Rather's mandate of speaking truth to power, I will never regret letting the president and provost know exactly what I thought the implications would be at a gathering very similar to this one. If I had not, I'd regret it for years to come. So it's been quite a ride, and though I'm leaving AU, I'm not leaving the planet, at least not yet. So please keep in touch. Reaching back to those presidents, the always fascinating Richard Nixon may have had the best soundbite for today, since our hope is to spend some time in France. And here were President Nixon's great line, "You are here to say goodbye to us, and we don't have a good word for it in English. The best is au revoir." We'll see you again.
I'd like to invite anybody else that wanted to come up to say a few words, and you're all